Jefferson, light rain was falling with a temperature of 61. The wind was east at 5. In Hot Springs, it was mostly sunny with a temperature of 75. The wind was south at 7. Around the region, in Tulsa, it was partly sunny with a temperature of 64. In Muskogee, it was mostly sunny with a temperature of 67. In McAllister, it was partly sunny with a temperature of 78. In Springfield, it was cloudy with a temperature of 57. At Joplin, it was partly sunny with a temperature of 63. Once again, in western Arkansas, temperatures were between 60 and 64 degrees. At Fort Smith, a thunderstorm was reported. It was cloudy at Springdale and Fayetteville. The short-term forecast. At 4:38 p.m., Doppler radars detected scattered showers and thunderstorms across portions of northwest and west central Arkansas, as well as southeast Oklahoma. These showers and storms were moving off to the east and northeast at around 40 miles per hour. Through 6:15 p.m., scattered showers and thunderstorms will continue to impact portions of the area. Some of these storms will have the potential to become strong to severe, with large hail, damaging winds, and isolated tornadoes possible. Heavy downpours and dangerous cloud-to-ground lightning can also be expected. Locations that may be impacted include those generally south of ACPOH, Oklahoma to Eureka Springs, Arkansas line. A tornado watch is in effect for portions of west central Arkansas and southeast Oklahoma until 11 p.m. And now the hazardous weather outlook. Issued at 12:34 p.m. Central Daylight Time. This outlook is for northwest and west central Arkansas as well as much of eastern Oklahoma. For this afternoon and tonight. Tornado. Risk, limited. Area, southeast Oklahoma and west central Arkansas. Onset, after 5 p.m. Severe thunderstorm. Risk, elevated. Area, eastern Oklahoma and west central Arkansas. Onset, ongoing. Discussion, isolated to scattered strong to severe thunderstorms are expected to develop late this afternoon and into the evening along and south of our boundary stalled across southeast Oklahoma and western Arkansas. Hail to the size of tennis balls and damaging wind gusts to 70 miles per hour will be the main threats, with a limited tornado threat especially for storms that interact with the boundary. These storms are expected to shift east of the forecast area by midnight. In addition to the main threat area in southeast Oklahoma and western Arkansas, ongoing storms across far northeast Oklahoma and into far northwest Arkansas may produce marginally severe hail through early afternoon. Spotter and Emergency Management Action Statement, activation of the regional spotter network likely. And now the extended outlook for the period Tuesday through Sunday. Tuesday, thunderstorm potential, high wind potential. Wednesday, severe thunderstorm potential, very high fire weather potential, high wind potential. Thursday, no hazards. Friday and Saturday, thunderstorm potential, very high fire weather potential. Sunday, thunderstorm potential. Extended discussion, Tuesday and Wednesday may both feature organized severe weather across eastern Oklahoma and northwest Arkansas. Tuesday's threat is highly conditional, with the main question being how many storms develop either ahead of a dry line expected to be near the Interstate 35 corridor during the afternoon or across southeast Oklahoma and into northwest Arkansas. An unstable air mass and sufficient wind shear will be in place across the area, and any storms that are able to develop with have a good chance to strengthen to severe levels. Large hail, damaging winds, and tornadoes will all be possible tomorrow, but again, the overall threat will be contingent on thunderstorms developing at all. A cold front will sweep across the region Wednesday, with additional strong to severe thunderstorms likely to develop along it and sweep through the area. Strong winds and drier conditions west of the cold front will increase fire weather concerns Wednesday afternoon. The potential for showers and storms will return over the weekend as a frontal boundary moves into the region. Weather.gov/ Tulsa contains additional information. The Fayetteville, Arkansas climate summary for this evening, as of 4 p.m., April 11, 2022. Today's high temperature was 73 degrees. The normal high is 69. The record high is 82 degrees, which was set in 1992. Today's low temperature was 58 degrees. The normal low is 43. The record low is 22 degrees, which was set in 1989. 0.57 inches of precipitation fell today, which brings the monthly total to 0.84 inches. This is 0.67 inches below the normal amount of 1.51 inches for April. Sunset tonight is at 7:47 p.m. Sunrise tomorrow is at 6:48 a.m. The current time is 5:12 p.m. Central Daylight Time. At 5 p.m. at Springdale, it was cloudy. The temperature was 60, dew point 57, relative humidity 89%. The wind was northeast at 9. The pressure was 29.78 inches and steady. At Drake Field in Fayetteville, it was cloudy. The temperature was 63, dew point 59, relative humidity 87%. The pressure was 29.78 inches and steady. Around Arkansas this hour, at the Northwest Arkansas Regional Airport, it was cloudy with a temperature of 58. The wind was northeast at 14, gusting to 23. At Fort Smith, a thunderstorm was reported with a temperature of 64. The wind was northeast at 8. In Little Rock, it was cloudy with a temperature of 75. The wind was southwest at 15. At Harrison, light rain was falling with a temperature of 61. The wind was east at 5. In Hot Springs, it was mostly sunny with a temperature of 75. The wind was south at 7. Around the region, in Tulsa, it was partly sunny with a temperature of 64. In Muskogee, it was mostly sunny with a temperature of 67. In McAllister, it was partly sunny with a temperature of 78. In Springfield, it was cloudy with a temperature of 57. At Joplin, it was partly sunny with a temperature of 63. Once again, in western Arkansas, temperatures were between 60 and 64 degrees. At Fort Smith, a thunderstorm was reported. It was cloudy at Springdale and Fayetteville. At 5 p.m., at Springdale, it was cloudy. The temperature was 60, dew point 57, relative humidity 89%. The wind was northeast at 9. The pressure was 29.78 inches and steady. At Drake Field in Fayetteville, it was cloudy. The temperature was 63, dew point.
All right, welcome everyone to the stream this evening. We're currently looking live at a tornado warning with multiple confirmed tornado reports from spotters on the ground on this storm. And you can see this massive hook echo that we're looking at right now. Right now, we have very sharp inflow running into the supercell here. And this is another textbook supercell. And that honestly is the theme of this year's storm season, is what we're seeing this year. Multiple textbook single-celled supercells here. This is not embedded in a line, as you can see here. This is one single supercell, folks, and very dangerous at that. It's using up all the energy around it. So with that being said, please make sure that if you're in this tornado warning, you're taking shelter. We have, as you can see, a very sharp bit of rotation here. We have a velocity, nearly a velocity couplet. We have one a little bit earlier, but we still have that rotation here. And if you're in that inflow slot, I guarantee, even though velocity radar isn't showing what we really would be seeing with that inflow wind speeds, I guarantee inflow wind speeds right now are gusting to about 50 to 60 miles per hour. Guaranteed. With this type of hook echo and with this type of storm that it's maintaining, it's definitely taking in a lot of air very rapidly in order to maintain its life cycle. So as you can see here, there's a lot going on with this storm right now. We have that hook echo in our RFD right there. RFD is a little bit on the weaker end now than we saw a couple minutes ago, but it definitely still is there, and it's definitely well defined. So as you can see here, there's a lot going on with this storm, like we just said. This tornado warning here that was issued not too long ago expires in 13 minutes. This next one expires in 43 minutes. So this one back here actually has been issued for a little while now, ever since I got this live stream posted up. But as you can see, our next tornado warning here that includes the previous areas and these following areas over here just northwest of Colksville, Arkansas there, and north of, let's see, right here, north of Branch, Arkansas. That actually includes Branch, Arkansas. All of these areas are in that tornado warning for the next 43 minutes, unless the National Weather Service advises that it's okay to take that down. But as you can see right now, we got that sharp inflow that we were talking about. Definitely a dangerous spot to be because that tornado, if it is still on the ground, that would be headed northeast towards the Charleston area. And if you're in that inflow on any roadways, you'll be able to see it, but you won't really be able to get out in time of that inflow. So make sure that if you're in the inflow right here in this little inflow notch here, just southwest of Charleston, Arkansas, you're taking shelter. Because even though the tornado is right within this little notch right here, right in this little notch right there, and you seem to be safe, there's no heavy precipitation and all that. This is the inflow area, and this cell is moving, the mesocyclone is moving just northeast towards your location if you're in that inflow. So make sure that you're not in that inflow if you are. And if you are and you're at a building, take shelter in a sturdy building. That is the best thing to do. No mobile homes, folks. Make sure that if you're in a mobile home, you're seeking other shelter. Definitely very dangerous. You don't want to be in a mobile home. Make sure that you're finding a different shelter. Most mobile home areas, trailer park areas, will have a public storm shelter, so make sure you seek that, or a local building nearby. But as you can see here, we really don't have much to talk about at the moment besides the fact that we have had multiple tornado reports. We have a meso detection strength index of 6. Low level rotation is 49 knots, and the base height is only 1,000 feet above the atmosphere. This is a very, very low base, folks. And when we talk about that lower base, what that means is the amount of rotation there, because the rotation is able to spin that lower and lower, like the tornado, how it reaches down to the ground. And with that base, that mesocyclone, not the tornado itself, but the mesocyclone that you see, that lowering wall cloud, that is only 1,000 feet above the atmosphere, which normally we see a very low wall cloud of about 2,000 to 3,000 feet. This is definitely low, folks, and definitely something you want to watch out for. Very strong supercell that we're watching right now. Um, at the moment, right now, we do see the potential for 2-inch hail with this system, and that is likely. We did see the hail threat today was definitely fairly large. And if you look here, if we go to our estimated hail size here, our mean estimated hail size, and we take a look at that potential, look at this, folks. On the back end here, we see up to 2.2 inches with that mean estimated hail size. That's a lot of large hail, folks. There's a giant hail core on this storm. Definitely something you want to watch out for. Hail is definitely a potential threat. And then when we look at that potential downdraft gust wind, the gust from the downdraft here, we have up to potentially 66 miles per hour, which are still damaging winds, definitely damaging winds that you want to watch out for. That is definitely potential for some potential damage to cause. So those winds can definitely do some potential damage, so please keep that in mind. We just got our new tornado warning now, expires in 40 minutes. So let's take a look at this. We have the following areas in this tornado warning. So let's zoom in. We have Paris, Arkansas, Ratcliffe, Arkansas, Ratcliffe, Arkansas, Sabico, Arkansas, Scranton, Arkansas, just west of there, Scranton, Arkansas, and just south of Coal Hill, Arkansas. So around those areas, I know there's a lot of other small towns within these, in between the valleys of these mountains here. So maybe not a lot of really good coverage I'm able to do for those areas since they're not really placed on the map. But generally around those locations, you can find yourself on this map within the tornado warning. So I apologize if I'm not able to find your town on here if it's not listed. But as you can see, our hook echo down here. Now, if we look down here, our hook echo right now is weakening. If you look southwest of the Charleston area, we have definitely our hook echo is weakening. We don't really have sharp inflow, and this is cutting itself off. Now, what I have to say is every single time we go ahead and say that one of these is going to cut its inflow off and cut its source of life off, it definitely brings itself back. We could see another hook echo or two or three hook echoes come back with this storm. That's the cycle of the supercell, and this could go on for many, many hours here, about even up to 5 hours or so. Now, as this moves over into the Ozark region over here, I kind of think that will start to slow it down once it gets over to the mountainous and hilly regions over here. I really think that's going to start to slow it down. It's already in those hilly regions there, but once it reaches over past the Russellville area. I'm sure that will start to slow it down a little bit more. Um, and but for the right now, our main threat that we look at is the potential for this to rebound, and it's going to come back. And I do believe that this storm is going to bring itself back. It's still doing significant activity right now. We see that hail that we were talking about earlier, that mean estimated hail size up to 2 inches now. It actually moved around a little bit, folks. Now, if you look north of Charleston now, Charleston, Arkansas, we have our hail, instead of it being southwest of Charleston, Arkansas, we have it north now. So we have up to about 2 inches of hail there. All right, and if you can see there, sorry about that little difficulty there, technical difficulty there, but if we look north of Charleston now, we have up to 2.6 inches hail. Now, this is still an estimated hail size by the computer itself, analyzing what's going on with that radar. But what we can see with the radar, and if we even look at our correlation coefficient on NextRad radar, which will tell us kind of what we're looking at here. If we look at our correlation coefficient, which tells us kind of what sized objects we're dealing with in the atmosphere, you can see we have a little bit of a pocket here. And when we get down below 70% or so, that's when we start to see those really larger bits of hail. And that could also lead, if we see a giant clump, a giant circle of these of this blue or so, and even down into the black color, like up here, that's where we start to see that potential for a hail debris ball there. So we see our debris signature, our tornado debris signature, and that could signify the potential for a tornado on the ground. Now, of course, right now we don't have that. I do not think that a tornado is still on the ground at the moment. If we look at our base velocity here, we still see that rotation. We have that rotation there, but we don't see is a debris ball on the ground at the moment. Which a lot of these areas are still rural areas. We don't see a lot of potential for it to loft larger objects such as pieces of homes. We don't see that potential out here, but there still will be some lofted debris if we see a signature, because there's lots of trees out here, especially down these foothills down here. So there is still potential for that. But right now, we do kind of have a velocity couplet still going on just south of Charleston right now. So if you're in Charleston, make sure that you're keeping weather aware. You're right on the band south of the hail, and you're kind of in the hot spot right now. You're right in between the potential for the tornado and the very large damaging hail. So that's kind of a pick your poison situation. Luckily, you're right in the middle, and I think you'll make this. I think you'll make it out without really any severe expectations from this storm. As you can see, you have kind of a little bit of a hail surging behind the kind of evading rear flank downdraft now, what we would call it, because it's starting to calm down now. We don't really have a very well-defined rear flank downdraft, but as you can see, you're just south of the forward flank downdraft, all that heavy precipitation and large hail, and you're kind of about to get hit with that rear flank that's coming down from the back end of the storm, and that's going to give you some of that hail that we were talking about earlier, and some of those heavy wind gusts. So a lot of surging cold air from the top of the storm. It's going to crank around the rear end of the storm, and there's going to be a little bit of potential for some rain and hail coming your way. Nothing too significant, though. If we look at our mean estimated hail size coming your way, earlier in the rear flank downdraft, we did see up to about 2.2 inches, but luckily now your hail situation is looking to be roughly around about the 1.5 inch area, so it's a little bit less, definitely better than about 2.6 inches, which we see here. We're starting to get readings of 70 decibels on the reflectivity scale, so that heavier, you see those pinks and even whites up there on the reflectivity scale there, that's starting to show some hail. Anything green, and keep in mind, the pink could still be rain itself. That doesn't mean that that's always hail, but the heavier precipitation amounts, we usually see a stronger downdraft. And what that shows us is with the stronger downdraft, you need a stronger updraft to kind of lift that up, and that's what causes that strong downdraft, is the force of that. But anyway, what you're seeing here is when we get a stronger updraft, that allows longer times of periods for lofted ice particles to kind of build and get some larger hail, and that's what we're seeing going on today. We have this very significant updraft here, and the reason I'm calling it significant is earlier at the very early developing stage, when we saw that cumulus cloud grow into a cumulonimbus, and we got that first severe thunderstorm warning, we saw echo tops all the way up at 40,000 feet just at that initiation time. So right now, I'm not sure what that is. Right now, we're kind of struggling to get some of the more bits and pieces of advanced data in here than just reflectivity and base velocity. But right now, we can't really get our enhanced echotops on here, but I guarantee they're at least 40,000 feet right now, which, as you know, is pretty high for some cloud tops. So right now, our main focus is this tornado warning. I still do not think that there's a tornado on the ground at the moment. If we check our correlation coefficient right now, we should still be clear of any debris ball signature. Um, there's this little tiny patch down here south of Charleston, kind of where the main rotation is, but I still think that's a bit small to be anything, and it's scattered right now. As you see, most of this is just hail up north of here. We still have that triangle there, and anytime you see a triangle on the radar here, on our radar here from WSV3, which is the software here, this is an indication of hail. So if you see a triangle with a number on it, that number is an estimation of what the hail is. So that's basically showing you right here. You can see there's a triangle with a 2, a green triangle. That's an estimation of 2 inches. And then when you see one of these downward facing triangles down here with the numbers, they're usually always pink. This is a tornado vortex signature, so that kind of tells you what's happening inside the mesocyclone here. And as you can see, we have low-level delta velocity. Again, delta means change, as you know, the triangle back in math class, if you remember from your early days in school. Low-level delta velocity, that's the low-level change in velocity, the change in wind speed. That is 46 knots at the base. That's a good bit of change in wind speeds, folks. And then we get our maximum delta velocity. That's the entire storm from base to top. That is 86 knots. So somewhere within that storm, there's an 86 knot difference, and likely it's going to be in that mid-level, I would think. But it could be possibly up in the upper levels of the storm where it's sweeping that trough right now, with the surface winds kind of pushing the storm eastward. While the upper level winds are trying to push it northeastward, as we usually see with this type of trough. But right now, our base height is 0.9 thousand feet. That's gotten below 1,000 feet, folks. This is a very low base right now. Very low base for the storm. I am surprised by this. I haven't seen a low base like this in a very long time. So definitely something to monitor here. Right now, we kind of have that velocity couple coming back now just southeast of Charleston. If you look here, that's about a mile or so southeast of Charleston. We can get our spatial tool here and kind of measure that out. So if we see if we can find Charleston again, Charleston kind of disappeared off the map there. Oh, there we go. Okay, so that's kind of 2.7 kilometers, so about 3 miles or so southeast of Charleston. That's kind of where you're expecting. So about 3 miles southeast of Charleston, that's where you're looking for that mesocyclone, and that's where that possible tornado is at the moment. Again, we don't really know if there's a tornado on the ground at the moment. It's kind of hard to tell. We don't really have any key features that we can look at for that possible tornado on the ground. But right now, I can guarantee that there's no tornado on the ground at the moment. But to be sure, I'm going to go on here and I'm going to try to get those tornado reports up. We can get some storm reports up here. And then we'll kind of see what people are reporting at the moment. All right, so here's our local storm reports. As you can see, we have local storm reports. Most of them are hail right now. We don't really see any tornado at the moment. So let's kind of sort these out right now. We'll keep tornado, funnel cloud, and hail on at the moment. But yeah, right now, as you can see, no tornado reports at the moment. Now, what did I say? We were going to see that rear flank downdraft kind of create that sharp hook echo again. And you can see here we have that inflow coming back in, that sharp inflow notch. We're back in another cycle, folks. We're back in it again, and as you can see right now, it's rebounded itself, and we're going to see another cycle of this storm like we saw a couple minutes ago, about 10 or 15 minutes ago, with that sharp hook echo. That's what we're going to see right now. So let's keep another close eye on this. Charleston, you're just in the rear flank downdraft right now. I know this may, if any of you folks are in Charleston right now, which most likely you're not, it's a little bit rough at the moment. I understand that you're in the rear flank downdraft. You have a bit of gusty winds on you, but you'll be out of this shortly, and there shouldn't be anything to worry about. You can see that you're mainly in gusts of about 19 or so miles per hour. I'm sure it's greater than that within that rear flank downdraft, likely about 60 or even up pushing 70 miles per hour within that rear flank downdraft. But right now, just west of you, you have another kind of bit of that cell. We have another cell actually moving northeast. That shouldn't sweep past you, so you should be clear of that. But after these cells move out, I'm pretty sure that should be the end of your storm systems for today, folks. So thank you for being patient with us, Charleston, as we try to wrap this storm up for you. And it should be moving out of its way shortly here. So Branch, you're in that same position that Charleston was just in. You're about to be within that inflow there, and that inflow notch is one of the most dangerous parts to be within this storm, because that tornado right in this inflow notch here, that potential tornado with the mesocyclone, is coming right at you. So make sure that you're in your tornado shelter, or if you don't have one, make sure you're in the lowest, most interior room of your home. Of a sturdy building as well. So if you're on the road, make sure you go find a sturdy building that's any public building really, and then go into the lowest, most interior room of that building. Ratcliffe, you're in the same position as Branch and Charleston. What that just was, and this is moving northeast, northeast, likely on an eastwardly trajectory though. Though I think it will kind of take a northeasterly turn towards Scranton up here. So keep that in mind. But as you can see, here's the areas that are potentially going to be within this mesocyclone. So within this red triangle right here, this is kind of where you're looking at your potential to be in. Now let's zoom back down into the mesocyclone here. Again, we're just keeping an eye on what's going on at the base right now. And this is a very sharp hook echo again. Not as sharp as we saw earlier, but we only see about a few of these each season. We've seen multiples here this season, so this is quite the season that we're seeing. And tomorrow is going to be an even more interesting day, and not interesting in a good way. Please keep that in mind. I'm not saying it's going to be interesting in a good way, because these type of events that are going to happen tomorrow are very, very unfortunate. So do keep that in mind. But we will get you through it tomorrow. We're going to be live tomorrow right when it happens. But I'm not going to dig too deep into tomorrow, because we still have that tornado. We still have this activity going on today at the moment. I will be off of here in about with the next 10 or 15 minutes, folks. I have a meeting at 7 p.m. that I have to go to attend to. So I will be off of here for a little while, but I'll have the No Weather Radio playing. And if any of you need any information, my moderators in the comments will be more than happy to help. That's what they love doing, and I appreciate them so much. They will be more than happy to help you with any of your questions, and they'll get you information. They'll be able to help you out with anything. So do keep that in mind. But for right now, I'm going to stick with you here before I have to leave. And right now, again, that inflow is still coming in sharp, but we're starting to see a little bit of weakening on that rear flank downdraft in the back end of it. Still, it's not pushing around the inflow. It's not cutting off its inflow, which is that lifeline of that storm. Until it cuts off that inflow completely and it doesn't have any time to kind of get itself back up with that tilted updraft, that's where we start to see it cave in on itself. Now, right now, we're still keeping it strong. We're still keeping it going. That inflow is not cut off, and we gotta wait and see what happens, because right now Branch is right at the tip of that inflow right there, right in the storm. Luckily, the part where the tornado would be is just south of you, so just south of you are down in Branch, and as you can see, that mesocyclone is actually southwest of you, so right in here, in that messiness, in that messy precipitation there on the rear flank downdraft. Now, up here in the forward flank downdraft, we still have those pinks. Kind of got rid of those whites, so that's good. We got rid of the white colors that indicate large hail, but there still is hail within the system. If we look here, mean estimated hail size, we kind of got rid of those 2-inch hail marks, but we still got about 1.6 inches or so, 1.7 inches. We're pushing 2 inches still with that hail size and diameter, so keep that in mind. Now back here on this cell that's just formed, it's moving northeast, and this does have the potential to go tornado warned. It's in the same position that this cell was not too long ago. This is northeast of the Barling area. It's just south of the Lavaca, Arkansas area, and as you can see, we have 1-inch hail, 1.2-inch hail in diameter, 1.1-inch hail in diameter. That's all potential, and now we just got that latest update now, and most of this is still just about 1-inch hail, so nothing really to worry about. 1-inch hail could still do damage, such as dent cars and all that, and anything potential like that, but it's not really as much as what we saw earlier. Okay, folks, we just got a tornado report here. This is a local storm report, City Bloomer. That's the Bloomer. City is the Bloomer there, so, or Bloomer is the city. There we go. Getting that all mixed up there. Type is tornado, and magnitude 0. Source is Storm Chaser. Storm Chaser video of a tornado near Bloomer. So that's Bloomer, Arkansas. Some evidence of debris in same location on KSRX radar. The estimated is time estimated via radar. So that's through radar. That storm report may be a few minutes late because they had to filter in through the software here, but that still doesn't mean that it's that still means that somebody spotted a tornado within one of these storms. I'm not sure which storm that is in right now, but they're saying there's potential debris there. So I guarantee it's because of this storm. I guarantee because this was the path here that just moved through Charleston, so they saw debris there. But they might still see a possible tornado right on this cell. They can still see right throughout this valley. If you look here, if they were in this valley, they can see out in this flat land here, out in the valley, towards the Charleston area where that tornado would be. So there may be a tornado on the ground at the moment. Please keep that in mind. That would be southwest of Branch. Here, let's get the exact a bit of measuring here for you. So if we get our spatial tool here, that's roughly 2.5 kilometers, or let's just say about 2.5 miles southwest of Branch. So if you're 2.5 miles southwest of Branch, or even in Branch, you need to be taking shelter. Anywhere within this tornado warning, you need to be taking shelter, but specifically in these areas because you could have the potential of a tornado on the ground at the moment. So keep that in mind. Let's get rid of that there, and let's head back out again to see the entire area again. All these areas are in a tornado warning still. That's true, Ray Maves. I'm not going to try too much to waste my voice today because I got a lot of talking to do tomorrow. But I do want to keep these folks down here in Arkansas safe, so I am still going to talk about today. And I won't be here much longer. Again, as I said, if anybody new just tuned in, I got to leave for a meeting for 7 p.m., so I have to be out of here shortly. But that's 7 p.m. Eastern time, so I do got to be out here shortly, and I will leave it up to the No Weather Radio and my moderators also like to answer questions as well as that. I'm kind of putting words in their mouth. I consider they like to answer questions because they're all in there always talking about weather, and I really do appreciate all of them. So thank you, moderators. But yeah, they're all suited for the job here, and they really like talking with y'all too. So they put information out there on my stream all the time, and I really do appreciate it. Well, right now we still don't see much change. We got a couple hail reports within that inflow notch there. Just got a tornado report just west of Charleston, kind of facing the direction of this Ratcliffe tornado area. So kind of having me think they might have spotted it around this area, but I still don't really see much potential with a debris ball there. So still don't see the signs for a tornado at the moment. But I am still looking at the potential for a tornado. I'm constantly monitoring that here because somebody did just submit a tornado report just west of there, said there was damage from the previous tornado there. But they still might have seen a tornado on the ground east of their location out here. All right, folks, I'm going to head out of here, and I'm going to turn back on the No Weather Radio. I should be back here within the next couple hours or so, but I will be back here eventually. I don't think I'll be back on the talk, but I will be back here to kind of monitor the stream again in a couple hours. But for right now, we're going to zoom out again and kind of let a general coverage happen. So I apologize if I'm not able to cover the specific area right now, but we are going to just cover the general locations. As you see, we still have a severe thunderstorm warning southwest of Fort Smith. This is kind of near the McAllister area in Oklahoma. That's going to be headed northeast towards these locations too. So we're going to kind of zoom out here and just let these areas be covered on the large scale of the radar.
Northwest Arkansas Regional Airport, it was cloudy with a temperature of 58. The wind was northeast at 14, gusting to 23. At Fort Smith, a thunderstorm was reported with a temperature of 64. The wind was northeast at 8. In Little Rock, it was cloudy with a temperature of 75. The wind was southwest at 15. At Harrison, light rain was falling with a temperature of 61. The wind was east at 5. In Hot Springs, it was mostly sunny with a temperature of 75. The wind was south at 7. Around the region, in Tulsa, it was partly sunny with a temperature of 64. In Muskogee, it was mostly sunny with a temperature of 67. In McAllister, it was partly sunny with a temperature of 78. In Springfield, it was partly sunny with a temperature of 57. At Joplin, it was partly sunny with a temperature of 63. Once again, in western Arkansas, temperatures were between 60 and 64 degrees. At Fort Smith, a thunderstorm was reported. It was cloudy at Springdale and Fayetteville. The short-term forecast. At 4:38 p.m., Doppler radars detected scattered showers and thunderstorms across portions of northwest and west central Arkansas, as well as southeast Oklahoma. These showers and storms were moving off to the east and northeast at around 40 miles per hour. Through 6:15 p.m., scattered showers and thunderstorms will continue to impact portions of the area. Some of these storms will have the potential to become strong to severe, with large hail, damaging winds, and isolated tornadoes possible. Heavy downpours and dangerous cloud-to-ground lightning can also be expected. Locations that may be impacted include those generally south of ACPOH, Oklahoma to Eureka Springs.